A list of the topics, themes, and subject matter for the episode can be found in the chat or description below.
The three of us, we are soldiers. My girls are better than your girls, 'cause they're not really girly girls, like a girly girl, they're really cool, not that shallow. Cool, not that shallow. My girls are better than your girls, 'cause they're not really girly girls, like a girly girl, they're really cool, not that shallow. The three of us, we are soldiers. We got soul. The three of us, we are soldiers. The three of us, we are soldiers. The three of us, we got soul, we are soldiers.
We would like to thank our sponsor, HeroForge.com. HeroForge.com has enabled us to bring you Midnight Rush to your very homes, and without them, we wouldn't be here. If you haven't heard it yet, HeroForge.com offers kit bashing. It is a new feature for pro subscribers that levels up the customization on HeroForge.com. The vast array of items and features that can be placed anywhere on the Mini, users have more freedom than ever before to create bespoke miniatures that represent their characters' unique personalized stories. Kit bashing allows you to add up to 20 more items onto your Mini, with each individual item having independent scaling, rotation, and movement. Minis themselves now have greater customization with kit bashing, including more granular hand and finger positioning, independently posable legs and feet, and scaling for individual body parts. Items added to the Mini via kit bashing can be nested together into folders in the kit bashing menu on the right side of the screen, which allows them to be scaled and moved as one unit. Kit bashed minis can be purchased in any form currently available on Hero Forge, including both physical products and such as color printed plastic or color standees, as well as the digital products such as STLs. Visit HeroForge.com and make your Mini today. Jet calls over Wendy from the basement, starts to prepare a plate of food for both of them, which is odd, especially for you, Adrian. Food looks repulsive to you now, but these two just are scarfing down meat, rice, vegetables, as if they're human.
I do that whole like looking at the plate of food. Like there's like very mild disgust and then looking at their faces a few times before like looking away. Just like very confused, but also like the mysteries of vampirism.
And you see Wendy toss you out of this pack. Drink it before or after me, and you won't have to. Kind of, and she gestures of like a throwing up kind of motion.
Like takes the pack. Just like not sure how to like go about this in like a neat way, but like just like on the corner of the bag, just like punctures it really quickly before like drinking.
And as you puncture and drink it, Wendy has her own, and there is a tab there that she just opens and drinks it from.
As everyone gets settled, Corley steps to the side of the TV where she's plugged the laptop into. And as she clicks a button, the first slide has a white background and black text, so it immediately flashbangs everybody. Oh, sorry. It was dark in the car when I was doing this. You'll just have to bear with me. Go to the next slide, also the same. The entire PowerPoint has a white background and just Times New Roman and bullet points. No pictures.
Oh, fuck.
Essentially, it will detail Coralie's research. She's done research about the different locations that we potentially can check out that are haunts of Austin. And they will feature clippings of various articles that might be available to the public, like if there was a recent event or things of note, a celebrity came to this venue, etc. Things of interest for those locations, and if possible, a compilation of pictures that people might have taken and of social media showing different entries and exits from the buildings.
One of the pictures is a pharmaceutical company in Midtown. Another is kind of like an annex kind of office of the same company all the way in Long Island City, so it's closer to you. Another place is a cafe, kind of like a restaurant. Has a navy blue door, and it is unmarked, but there has been like a photo of like very rich looking individuals who enter the door. And then there is one that is basically all else fails. If you can't find him, this person could probably find them. And it is kind of like this, not broken down, but very unkempt kind of townhouse in the Lower West Side. You're not quite sure. It just kind of gives you a name. And like basically the name is like Emery Finkelstein.
As Coralie is running her presentation, if anyone raises their hands or tries to ask a question, she'll cut them off and say, no questions until the end. And then eventually flips through all of the slides, and then the last slide is questions, comments.
So what would we like to do? Would we like, and he's like, he lifts his hand because he has been doing it like, oh, okay. Oh.
Adrian.
Yeah. Hi. So what's the plan here? Are we going to gather information and give it to the anarchs, or are we gonna do something else?
I mean, that's the plan unless we can get a good drop on him, but he's probably surrounded.
Probably. That's the easiest way. They could take care of it themselves. Better to give off that information and have them take care of him that way, I guess. Good to have a backup plan, though.
I'm ready to fight.
You're scrappy.
I'm scrappy. And I'm ready to fight. And then Tinny kind of stands up and starts doing these little punches into the air. Look at that.
Please hold your demonstrations until after the presentation. Thank you.
Sorry, you're right, ma'am. Thank you, sorry.
Yeah, what she said, yeah.
Tinny sits back down and eats more popcorn.
There's a little quirk in the corner of Coralie's mouth. She looks so proud of you. She gives you a small thumbs up, trying to hide it a little bit.
Full fist of popcorn right into my mouth.
I think that the cafe is probably our best bet to start off first. I suspect that, and she flips back to a couple of slides of the cafe. I these very good-looking people, objectively, are probably kindred. Have you been to this cafe before, Jet? Wendy?
No, it's apparently by appointment only.
Fuck.
Cafe appointment only. Looks like we gotta schmooze our way in. I'll give him one of these. And she starts batting her eyes. And I'll give her one of these. And she shows the shoulder.
Adrian does the same thing. Or I could do one of these. uh, and just, I don't know if like awe can apply in regards to that of like, oh yeah, or I could do one of these. Just winks.
Tinny looks at you, jaw dropped. Holy shit.
Adrian, you got hotter.
Like, so I thanks, thank you. Comes with the territory. Like, does like a fake bow on both sides.
I mean, do you think that Shahad could get a table?
I mean, seems like he's the type that could get a table, call ahead, move his schedule around, and like lifts a phone and like sends a text message.
Maybe the people that show up are just the entourage sneaking in.
I think that's a good idea. Like, is like hand and phone, like sending a text message to Shahad.
Shahad responds, they're just asking like what they can do.
Hey, sorry to ask for help so soon. But like tells them about the cafe, if he's heard of it.
He has. He's been there like once, and it's possible to get a reservation. He even offers, would you like me to reserve the whole evening for only us?
Wow, I'm like just showing off again. Like just looking off. Like, yeah, that'd be great. I guess I'm gonna give him like tell him like partial truth here of like we're looking for information for was it kindred breach essentially on this person.
And he says like, yeah, it's possible. He'll get to it right now.
Thank you.
And after a few minutes, he responds, done. Reservation made.
That quickly.
Yeah. He says that the reservation sometimes, there are occasions where nobody makes an appointment for a reservation.
Mm.
And it seems that tonight is kind of like a slow night for Cafe L'Amour.
Okay. Sends a heart. Thank you very much. See you tonight then.
And just sends a heart.
And while this is happening too, like I am gonna like just send like a message to my sister, essentially, and say like, hey, I'm sorry, I've been quiet. We do need to talk, but I gotta take care of this, like we promised.
There isn't a response. But the last that you mentioned, the last that you've checked, they should be safe with Ramona.
Yeah. There's like a moment of like, like, hey, I understand. But we'll check back later. Then like looks up, got the reservation.
Shit.
Got the whole place.
Dang it, I didn't even get to use my charm.
According to these other photographs that I've acquired from the internet, there's a certain dress code that we currently do not fulfill.
Dress code? Are you saying that we have to go to the thrift store again?
Perhaps. I am low on funds.
But you're high on fun.
Jet. Wendy, any donations?
Jet takes out his wallet and just tosses a black card on the table.
Sugar daddy.
Whatever.
I'll drive.
Jet, you're coming, right?
Yeah. Let me get ready. Wendy kind of like looks between Jet and the group, and then as I guess I'll get ready as well.
More the merrier.
Both Jet and Wendy are dressed in the nines. Jet is in this like checkered suit, button shirt, pretty much cleaned up from the punk look that they were sporting most of the time that you've seen them. Wendy is the same. Well, we'll follow you guys.
Tinny grabs the keys to the car and is like dancing to the car.
You guys drive. You guys go a quick stop to shopping.
Does Chanyol try to sit in the front if Tinny's driving? There's this awkward moment where Chanyol, as you reach for the passenger side door handle, Coralie reaches over and puts her hand on the door handle too and looks at you.
I push you.
Ow. Hey. Coralie just shoulder checks you. And just bounces off. Because she has 0 pips in anything physical.
Tinny does not even notice this interaction. She's so excited.
And you guys shop for clothes, and you guys look immaculate. You get to the cafe, and the door is closed. There is no window to it. There is a doorbell, and Shahad is in front of the door waiting.
Hi.
And Shahad gives you a kiss on the cheek. Oh, let's get to it. And Shahad rings the bell. Hear a kind of whirring sound as a camera kind of spins next to the door to check out who is ringing the bell. You hear a kind of lock disengage from the door, and Shahad pulls it open.
Nods. I'm going to walk in, but I would like to make sure everything's good inside, just in general, like what's going on.
You pretty much, it is an empty kind of restaurant. You see tables that have like a beautiful like silverware and glassware, like crystal glasses. See a chandelier in the middle of the dining area. It is amber lighting, and as the group walks in, you also notice that there are heavily armed guards.
As we're making our way in, Coralie is going to very distinctly keep an eye out for any kind of strategic entryways, where security might be, the camera room, because there's definitely a camera room somewhere. Just trying to keep an eye out for the layout of this place.
It's kind of like a railroad restaurant, so there's not a lot of strategic exits except for the front door. And if there is a back door, you're going to have to still find it. It's probably behind by the kitchen.
Could I do a check basically to see if the security guards are human or not?
Make an awareness check.
What's
an
awareness?
awareness? You have to get about a 3 to discern. So if you have enough, you can take half.
That's a 2. I'm going to use my willpower. I got 3.
Okay, with 3, you have seen ghouls before. These are definitely human guards that have been fed kindred.
Yeah, okay. Fuck it. Fuck that, I mean.
You said that out loud?
Yeah. I think it's just, I think there's just like a whisper at least of like, those are some Jewish security guards.
You're met by a angular-featured man. Sunken eyes, very strong pupils. And he bows. Welcome to Café L'Amour. We show you to your dining space. He walks over, and within the railroad kind of style restaurant, there is kind of like this door to the side that this gentleman opens, and it's like this dining area, a long table, and about 3 people there of varying genders. And it says, you see each seat has like a menu. It says, we do also serve specialties for our palate challenge, and gestures over to the 3 of you.
I think Tinny has like a big smile and she goes, "That is so kind of you. Would love to see that menu."
And he says, my name is Hector. Whenever you're ready, please ring the bell and I will take your order.
Thank you, Hector.
He walks out. He lets you guys in there. The 3 people there approach the kindred. Jihad, to you, Adrian, to Wendy as well. Just stands there because Jet is not evidently a kindred, assumed to be one.
Does Tinny see any security cameras pointed at us currently?
Yes.
How many?
2.
So Tinny is gonna go into the bathroom, and she kind of gets up and she's like very loudly but like polite. It's like, "I just need to powder my nose," and she walks to the bathroom.
As you're walking to the bathroom, you notice that a chef is sharpening a pretty big cleaver, and strung up, pretty much hooked to the ceiling, is just a guy roughly around late 20s and gagged, crying, and is just nervous.
How many people do I see in the kitchen?
Roll me wits and awareness.
Fuck. Okay, wits and awareness.
You see at least one, but this wits and awareness is just to see if you see more.
Okay, 9, 4, 5, 4, 2.
You just see one other person.
Oh, Tinny is conflicted.
Does Tinny like hesitate on the way towards the bathroom?
Yes, I think she kind of stops in her tracks and looks in the kitchen, but she doesn't want it to be obvious that she's looking in the kitchen, so she's kind of like looking through her bag, pretending to look through her bag, but she's like glancing at the kitchen.
Coralie notices that Tinny hesitates and begins to step up and will essentially gently bump elbows. Say, "Oh, I need to use the bathroom too." And will look over, like kind of turn their body so they're looking at Tinny, but really looking over Tinny's shoulder into the kitchen.
You can roll to notice the same thing.
Does the person who's strung up seem like they are in medical danger, other than obviously being on a hook?
Depending on what they do with that knife, they will be.
I think I kind of grab your arm like, "Oh, buddy system," and walk you into the restroom, and I kind of whisper to you as I go in the stall, and I just tell you to I pass you a note to give to the table, and I say, "Just go back to the table." And the note is going to say, "Human victim kitchen."
Coralie tucks the note into her shirt and will briefly turn on the faucet, just get her hands a little wet, and then step out towards the table and begins to visibly adjust her bra, and then just puts the paper on the table, sliding it towards Chanyol first.
And while she's doing that, Tinny's gonna go into a stall and use quick crafting to craft up 2 camera disruptors, something that's going to make the cameras freeze but not destroy, because I want it to look like they're still working.
Roll me wits, intelligence, or dexterity, and then craft.
3 and 3. All right.
You're gonna need 4 successes for this. Quite an elaborate piece of technology.
I'm going to use willpower. Okay, so I got a 9, a 10, 7, 7, 6.
Okay. 5 successes. Easily have kind of like a standard web app that you can fabricate like connections, and you pretty much set what you want it to do, and you are able to kind of program this app to connect to the cameras and create a loop.
So from the stall, Tinny's going to activate the camera disruptors for all the cameras.
As you're walking, you start to hear in the kitchen.
Oh, and then she goes, "Oh, right." And
By now, the note's definitely been passed around the whole table.
so I think that Tinny wouldn't hesitate and would go into the kitchen.
As you go into the kitchen, you see this guy. You see parts of them have been flayed. They're still alive. Definitely, they are suffering injury. You see this very kind of muscular man. Start to see their features. You start to notice that their features are very warped. They have tusks. Their skin is gray, pallid. You start to see their skin is covered in boils. See claws instead of hands.
I think so. He doesn't look humanoid then.
You start to see, as you're inside, there are 3 other people that are strung up that as they see you start to panic and kind of like ask for help. And the thing is, this chef is already focused on you. There are 3 other chefs there that have different kind of deformities in terms of their appearance. One has a really long neck and has, instead of lips, just straight up teeth and kind of bat ears.
Right. Okay, so she sees that he talks her, and so she plays the dumb, she's not blonde, but the dumb blonde. She kind of trips over herself like, "Oh, sorry, I thought I was heading towards the dining room. That's my bad."
One of the kitchen crew you also notice is a young woman, kind of very Michelin star, like flat haircut, like tied into a ponytail, is preparing a dish. But what they're preparing looks like it's just regular.
Does she look like she's there against her will?
No, she looks like she's proud of what she's doing.
Okay. All right.
You see like quail set in, like a braised quail on like a potato puree with like this brown sauce with it's quite fascinating. Back at the table, the rest of you has seen the note. Jet kind of like taps the table and kind of like gestures over at the back. Kind of like looking to you, Chanyol, kind of like signifying like Tinny's been there for a while.
She's making the thing, but and then as he puts the note down from Coralie, passing it around to everybody else, I just kind of try to be a little socially coy, I guess, and just sort of say, we don't have time for that, I think. We got a big night in general, so if anything, if it looks like she's still lost, maybe somebody should check up on her. I can, and I will.
Jet kind of like tells you, let's sit tight, and you start to notice that Wendy has disappeared.
God fucking damn it.
Wendy has disappeared, but like, I think Shahad and Adrian noticed that Wendy has used some form of vampiric power to kind of like not stir the area, and is now heading towards the bathroom.
I think Wendy's got it.
When Coralie sees Tinny leave the bathroom, she's watching like a hawk. And when Tinny steps into the kitchen, Coralie stands up and begins to move over there.
I'm waiting for Hector because we need, at the very least, need to have one thing going for us, and I need at least one other vampire here to make sure that it goes okay.
Hector arrives and asks, "So are you ready to order?"
Yeah, I think I am. And I put my hand finally up at the table. The other one is probably resting on Tinny's empty chair, and you can see the brass knuckles that I have on me, on the knuckles, and maybe from where Hector can see, the inscription on the brass knuckles is in the Korean Hanja, like an older Sino-Korean language script rather, that says the Four Gentlemen. And I'm going to use Repel the Unnatural here to make sure that Hector stays in place and is hopefully silent.
What is the test?
The test is going to be my Resolve plus Occult, and then Hector's Composure plus Resolve.
Okay, I rolled a one success.
So that's like 6.
As if frozen in time, Hector stares at your brass knuckles, fixated.
And I try to move as still as possible at the same time so that I don't lose focus here either. But we have... And Chanyeol just sort of says again as he's kind of like cracking his knuckles against them. We have a couple questions for you, Hector. If you don't mind, my friends and I taking some of your time. We're, your only customers tonight, so...
Coralie, you get to the kitchen and you start to see these two people. You also see that now this person needs medical attention.
Tinny, you hear behind you, "What the fuck?"
Oh, you got lost too, huh? And I think Tinny is gonna pull a gun out of her bag.
Go ahead. All right. You pull a gun out of the bag. This guy who has the cleavers, like, just out of shock, is just going to lunge at you. I assume you're going to shoot at them.
Yeah, and it's the incendiary rounds that I got from the guy.
Resolve and firearms.
Okay, 1, 2, 3 successes.
I rolled 4 successes. So you see that he dips his head towards the opposite side as your bullet just whizzes past his head. You see the other one lunging over. Coralie, please roll me dexterity and athletics.
I'm so sorry.
That's 2 dice. Okay, I got a 9.
I rolled 2 successes. You see this other one with the long neck lunge at you and kind of push you onto the fridge and kind of stab towards you. You move, but your arm gets clipped and you take 1 super. The commotion happens, and the 2 guards with semi-automatic kind of like guns start to point the guns at the rest of you, and one of them rushes over to Adrian.
There's only 2?
There's 3.
I thought there was less people here.
One of the guys rushing to the kitchen.
I love this. This is so juicy.
Okay, you see the other one that's running towards the kitchen gets headshotted with an incendiary round as from the shadows Wendy comes out
Wendy.
And starts to run towards the kitchen.
If there's like, so there's one that ran to the kitchen. There's 2 that are training their guns on us, right?
Exactly.
Then Adrian's gonna get up and go for the one closest to Chunyul at the moment.
Okay, there's one right next to you, and there's one next to Chanyo.
If there's one right directly next to me, I'm gonna go for that one first. Let's see. Ooh. Just a melee attack. Just to like, this is just a ghoul, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a steak knife on the table.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is like, is there a steak knife like on the table? So I'm gonna use that to melee. Does it really quick. Can I blood buff?
Ooh.
Yes, you can rouse the blood. Please make a rouse check.
It's a 6. So do I get hungry or no?
No, you don't.
Awesome. And then that gives me 2 dice, and I'm going to do a,
Strength plus melee.
and I'm gonna use my specialty sneak attack that I just got too.
Sure.
3 9s and a 10.
3 9s and a 10. You cut this guy in the face. As you cut this guy in the face, you notice that Jet kicks Shahad's chair. So Shahad falls backwards. The gun just goes wild and fires several bullets on the table. And Jet basically just kind of knocks themselves back while making sure that Shahad is outside of the line of fire. The gun barely reaches you, Chanyol, but this isn't the first firefight that you've been in the middle of.
I have to stay still. So I'm just like,
Yes.
I'm trying to like keep around him at the moment is all I can do.
And there is one more person near Chanyol, and you see that Jet is going to lash out one of their snakes over at him. The snake grabs the gun, and it doesn't disarm the person, but kind of make sure that they can't fire it. Going back to Tinny and Coralie.
All right. So Tinny's got the 2 pistols. Did she get knocked over?
No.
Okay. So I think she's gonna grab the second pistol out of her purse and try again at that same guy.
Okay. Before you do so, please roll me dexterity and athletics.
4 successes.
Okay, I only got 3 successes there. So you negate all damage. As they swing the cleaver at you, kind of do a deflecting swat and roll me resolve and firearm.
Oh, I'm gonna use willpower,
Okay.
and that is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes again.
Okay. Against my 2, they take 2 aggravated damage. They are still up, but you see that their neck is starting to burn and bubble. As that's where you hit them. Coralie, what are you doing?
Coralie tries to knee them in the nuts.
Okay. Roll me a strength and brawl.
I have 0 dice. Oh, I have 2 dice. Okay.
Self-defense, just like I taught you.
A 2 and a 5.
Okay. You knee them in the nuts, and it does nothing. And they smile. You're not really sure how they do it because they don't have any, but their cheekbones kind of rise, and they see that you are kind of helpless. They drop their knife and they will try and just thud.
Hey, do I roll something?
No, because we will come back to table. Adrian,
Fuck. Okay, yeah.
you have engaged this guy. He is going to train his gun at you. And I need you to roll me dexterity.
6, 6, 7.
Okay. You get 3 successes. I only got 2. So you're able to kind of maneuver away from the gunfire. And I need you to roll me again your striking, which is strength and melee.
10, 7, 7.
You are able to stab them in the neck. Minimal damage, about 2 superficial damage is what they take. But you are still able to do what you you see that Jet is just going to try and tackle the gun with the other gun. You see that Jet takes a few bullets to the shoulders. Chanyol, what are you doing right now?
I mean, I think Chanyel's a little too distracted about literally making sure that everyone else is like gonna be okay. I think at all times right now he's worried if he's gonna have to like stop this to get up and do something. But just holding his composure just a little bit, he just looks up at Hector and is just like, "You fucking look at me, okay? You're gonna get through this."
He holds his gaze on you, silent. Corley, I need you to roll me a
I'm in danger.
either strength and athletics or strength and brawl.
2 dice. Rolled a 5 and a 7.
Okay, I rolled a crit. I rolled 6 successes. You take 5
Corley!
aggravated damage as this person bites into
No, can I do anything?
after.
Yeah, as Corley is getting the life drained out of her, she tries to scream, but it just is this throaty, gargly sound instead. And she's trying to like fight them off, clawing, digging as much as she can, and it's to no avail. She's still alive, but this is, I imagine, very gory.
With the crit earlier, the neck of this Nosferatu starts to bubble, and you see a delayed reaction as the incendiary round explodes within its neck. Bunch of gore and blood splatters around on your face, and you notice that Corley is being drained by this other one.
I'm gonna tackle it. Let me at him. Let me at him. I'm gonna jump on top of him.
Roll me strength and brawl.
I'm using willpower.
Okay.
Only 1 success so far.
I crit again.
Can I use willpower again or no?
6.
Oh, I won't even be able to do it. I don't have 6 dice.
Swats you. And you fall over. You don't really take any damage, but he's clamped there. It's fine, however, because there is another person who can help.
Oh, thank God.
Wendy tries to, in the event that they might hit, they choose to not fire their and kind of grapple with this kindred.
Tinny's like screaming. She's like, "Get off my friend!"
And then there's 2 successes. He is easily taken away, but they're scuffling on the ground right now. You see the woman who is preparing food suddenly is now stopping to prepare the food and takes a knife and is walking towards you.
I want to attempt to intimidate her.
Before we get to that, Adrian,
Hi. Hey.
do you still up? do you want?
I'm not gonna try to kill him. I just want to like knock him out, essentially. Where is he? Like, so I cut him. I cut him across the face. I stabbed him in the neck. Is it possible to just like with my free hand grab him by the front vest and kind of slam him on the ground?
Sure. Strength and brawl.
4 successes.
Falling back to the training that you had, you take them down and hit their head on the. They're incapacitated. You still see that Jet is having a hard time making sure that this person does not die, but they are able to subdue them and kind of hold them in a headlock. Coralie, roll me intelligence and medicine.
Okay. All right. I have 5 intelligence and I have 4 medicine. Okay, 1 crit, 1 7, and 3 6s. Oh, and a 9. So that's
You're able to stop the bleeding, but you are there. You feel super weak. You're on the floor, and Tinny, you can start now your intimidation. One girl.
So Tinny's conflicted because she wants to help her friend.
You would see that Coralie reaches like into like a like thigh strapped pouch and essentially like pulls out gauze and just shoves it into their neck. And Coralie's like slowly crawling out of the kitchen right now.
So I think fuck intimidation. I was gonna do that to just get to Coralie. I think I'm gonna reach for the hunting knife that was sexily strapped to Tinny's leg and throw it at the lady's neck.
All right, roll me a dexterity and meal.
1 crit, 1, 2, 3, 4 more successes.
Okay, 2 successes. You hit her in the neck and she dies.
I needed it for the other guy. Fuck.
He's just a human, and you see now during the grapple on the top of this guy's head, Wendy emptied their clip.
How many people are left?
Just Hector.
Yeah, Jet like incapacitated. Adrian incapacitated.
I think Tinny automatically runs to Coralie then to help her.
We're gonna get to Chanyol and Hector. Chanyol, your battle sense has kind of kicked in, and you can feel that things have subdued, and that you have Hector.
So, Hector, where can we find Austin Collins this night?
I'm sure that Mr. Collins will be either doing business in his offices in Midtown. He did have an appointment 2 weeks from now.
With who?
Just a dinner appointment. But if you can't wait, I'm sure you can find him in his office. And if he's not there, you might want to try Bernard College as his colleague over there, Miss Moniade, would probably know more. But the thing is, if you try and infiltrate Tremere High Regent's residence, might have a worse time that you've had here.
I believe that, Hector. And I just want to do an insight just to make sure that this is all up on the up and up.
Sure. What's an insight?
Gonna use willpower. That is 3 successes.
3 successes. He's truthful. I think you feel in him the will to survive, and he opens his mouth. I'm not above of making
A deal.
Is there any reason I shouldn't kill you tonight?
I mean, I'm just a business owner trying to make ends meet. I have no quarrel with you, nor do I care, Mr. Collins. He is but a fish in the vast sea of New York City. If I lose one measly client, I have more.
The thing is, I'm gonna need you to really butter me up, Hector, because nobody is gonna leave this place alive. So, give me anything else that's particularly juicy about him. Maybe you can still have business.
Well, I assume learned of his exploits in an establishment called Stardust.
Mm-hmm.
Friday should be making his way over there. Maybe around 9, 10 o'clock.
One more question, because I keep hearing this goddamn word. The Tremere. That lady in particular. What does she do for him?
It's more that what he does for her.
She does what she wants.
She deals in blood magic. She uses Austin's money to fund her lovely little project. And she uses it to gain power and favor. And since we're at an impasse where I need to give you more than I should,
Ensure that my business flourishes.
I believe she is planning some form of takeover. Not of the camera itself, her own kind.
The other Tremere or vampire kind in general?
The other Tremere.
See Shahad, White kind of cleans themselves off. Not this again. Hector says, indeed. Just like the old sheriff before stopping their own sire. Addis is trying to subjugate the Tremere once more. They used to be under one rule, but after some form of hive mind was destroyed, they don't seem to be able to do so. And whatever Austin was trying to create was going to help with that. I assume you're the human that Austin were looking for,
Won't confirm.
and won't ask further.
I have a follow-up question though.
Of course, I don't. It seems that I don't have a
Good to know that you know your position. Straightens up as well. Like, is a little frazzled. Pushes hair out of his face. He was looking for these so-called humans. Did he send anyone out to take care of them?
an outsider.
Name.
David Min.
And did this David fulfill any job successfully?
That's unfortunately out of my scope.
They've come here once or twice, but
I never really pay mind to my guests.
Okay.
Anything else?
Chanyeol can't tell if he wants to be cruel or not, so I think finally, I think he looks to Jet. And he's just like, is it worth keeping this one around?
The event that Stardust doesn't work out. We have a scheduled place where Austin's gonna show up. 2 weeks, you say? Indeed, 2 weeks. We have a robust back room, if you'd like to make an appointment as well.
I drop repel.
As this has been fun, he sniffs in the air. It seems that someone might be in need of assistance. He looks over to the kitchen.
Adrian jogs over.
Coralie is dragging herself across the floor, bleeding profusely from the neck.
Tinny is like on you and just like grabbing at the gauze and grabbing at your supplies. And she's like, I'm sorry. I thought I was doing the right thing. I'm so sorry.
I'll be fine. You've got to get those people off the hooks.
See, the people are like,
And I look to Chunyul and Adrian to do that because, first of all, Tinny is very short.
Yeah, I got it.
Same. Yeah, that's fair.
you take them down, and Hector says, please, you're bleeding me quite dry. Can't take my stock as well.
Shut the fuck up, man.
And he starts to roll up his sleeves and starts dragging bodies away.
Like it's a fucking Tuesday evening. All right. And then like just like cuts people down.
I'm just asking Coralie, I'm like, what do I need to do? How can I help?
Probably get some chef jackets and cover them up. Their wounds are exposed to the air.
And Tinny's like annoyed that you want to help them and not yourself, but whatever. And she's like,
I look at Adrian and I'm just kind of like, I think you can help her, right?
Like I look back over at Coralie. She's not in a way where like she's in danger of like a complete blood loss, is she? Like, don't make that face at me.
I have 1 hit point.
If Shahad comes over after a while, like I give a look, like should I? Because this is kind of like certain territory right now. I look at Chunyul.
Shahad says, he might be able to staunch the bleed. He kind of taught you how to feed,
Okay.
like in the car. Talked to you about licking the wound closes the wound. But Shahad has never really tried licking someone else's bite.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that is something that he would say, it's worth trying.
Tilts his head, leans down. It's like, hey, I really apologize already.
It's okay. Just ripping the gauze off, throwing hair back. There's just no ceremony whatsoever in this.
None whatsoever. Like, all right, fine. Dips his head down, opens his mouth enough, and impromptu licks to close the wound, essentially, as carefully as possible.
It starts to close. And as the bleeding stops and quite scarring stays there, you feel a tug on the back of your shirt as Jet pulls you off of Coralie, and Jet kind of checks on you. You all right? Are you okay?
I need electrolytes. Just kind of like awkwardly reaches up to the fridge that she got slammed against and just tries to weakly pull the fridge open.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? And then like literally goes to the fridge, opens it to look for like Gatorade. Hopefully there's Gatorade in here.
I whisper to Tinny, but I don't look at her, and I just go kind of hot.
And there's nothing in there, and Jet kind of like piggybacks you on them and is just like, we'll get something on the way back. Let's get out of here.
Tinny whispers to Chunyul, kind of hot.
Coralie just straight up passes out just from exhaustion. Just kind of slings her arms over Jet's shoulders and just falls asleep.
And you see that Wendy kind of appears and is like, there's more people upstairs.
Like with guns or like kidnapped people?
Like them, and points over to like the people that are tied up.
Tinny does like a big exhausted sigh and rolls up her sleeves and goes, all right, let's go get them.
You guys take out these people. Leave. Shahad kind of stays for a little bit. Adrian, you notice that Shahad takes out a checkbook and gives it to Hector.
It all worked out, Hector.
And you guys drive back, knowing now that on Friday you can catch your prey. If that goes awry, in 2 weeks you can back.
There's definitely not going to be a trap set for us.
We'll see. This cold winter night, the two of you just escaped one of most harrowing, even more harrowing than your embrace, situations that you've been in the last 3 weeks. For those last 3 weeks, you guys were embraced by a group of Tremere, which you've learned what they are, to create this Philosopher's Stone. You were housed in this warehouse in Hell's Kitchen. While the 3 weeks were passing, you were given about a month to create this thing. Regardless of whether or not you'd gone willfully or you were tricked into it, time was running down. On the 3rd week, news broke out. Every warehouse that you knew held one burner phone. It was held by whoever was designated as the leader. Your warehouse was led by a girl named Bonnie. Bonnie was not that strict, was in there because they needed the money. They were offered money. But unfortunately, the money seems to be something that is not going to arrive. As one day, a text is received saying that the stone was made. And basically, cleanup will happen soon. Bonnie wasn't really sure what that meant. Nor were you. You guys thought it was just to close shop, to live the rest of your lives, or unlives, as they said, in whatever semblance of peace that you can. Hours after that text, you just experienced a nightmare
A hail of gunfire riddles the walls of the warehouse. A few of the other people that were working with you get mowed down. The two of you are able to escape. While on the run, knowing that the city is not safe. I mean, hell, if the warehouse wasn't safe enough, then the streets are much far worse. The idea hits you. You're already dead. What is the cold of the Hudson to a dead person? Pretty sure that they're not gonna, probably. You're sure that they're probably not going to cross the river just to get two nobodies, right? I mean, would have been easier with the tunnels, but you're pretty sure people like this, they have people on every single bridge and tunnel in the city. It's about 11 p.m. Water is rushing. Who are you, and how are you feeling faced with this situation right now?
Coming out of the water, we see a blonde woman who's very slight in frame, and she follows Devon out of the water. She keeps a quick pace and looks over to him and says, "Let's just keep moving."
Do you think they're gonna follow us?
Maybe. More reason to move.
Yeah, you're right.
And she tries to wring out the sweater dress that she's wearing, expects to feel a chill, but doesn't.
As you're walking, while your footsteps crunch on leaves and twigs, rocks and soil, hear a sound suddenly appear to your left, Devon. It is a white, big raccoon. Pauline, you look at this raccoon and it just reminds you, you're gonna have to feed soon. Whether take this poor animal out or wanna just wait for something more substantial, it's up to you.
I look at the creature and think, I don't know when I'll get another opportunity. I'll make it quick. And she goes to grab the raccoon.
Devon, you see your companion easily grab this raccoon, snatch it. Pauline, you have baby teeth. Explain to me how you feed off of this raccoon.
I have to snap its neck, which I try to do very quickly. And I just have to use my useless human teeth to bite out its throat, hang it upside down, and wait for it to drain. I try to squeeze it almost like a tube of toothpaste, trying to get as much as I can out, as I don't have the useful means to do this cleanly.
As a messy eater yourself, Devon, how are you feeling seeing this?
At one point, this probably would have made Devin sick in life, but the way these past few weeks have gone and the things that he's seen, he is disturbed by the fact that, like, he feels nothing as he watches this happen and is just almost completely desensitized to the violence, as it happening to a raccoon is really pales in comparison to the things that he's seen these past few weeks.
As I get over halfway through, just about, I do stop and I look at you. Do you need?
I'll manage.
And she finishes it as quickly as she can.
Takes a while. Keep walking. It's not hard to navigate through and out of the woodland area, resurface onto civilization. It's been 4 hours since you were attacked, crossed the river, and got to this point. It is about 1 a.m. already. The streets are empty. In front of you stands this bright gas station. It's well lit. There is a small convenience store, shed-looking thing attached to it. You know that in Jersey they pump their own gas, so there is definitely an attendant there or two. Now that the light hits you, Pauline, you notice that your sweater dress is now drenched in animal's blood. The expensive clothes that you had, Devin, are now damp and stained and filled with whatever the Hudson carries in it.
I appreciate that it's at least a dark color, and I hope it will hide it. She uses the top to try to get herself clean and as presentable as she can if Devin's wanting to go in.
I can take this one if you want to wait outside, or if you want to.
Yeah.
And so he walks up to the door and opens it and begins to have a look around inside.
You enter this convenience store. It's half convenience store and half automotive store. You see to your right a bunch of spare tires, brake oil, motor oil, a few jumper cables, and some rags to clean the cars. And then in the back, there is a fridge, and near the counter is a bunch of candy and snacks. You see this man just reading a paper, like a magazine, just paying you no mind, waiting for you to approach the counter with either a request for gas or something from the store.
I quickly run up to the counter and I kind of like slam my hands down and I say, please, my friend, she needs help, fast.
Oh, and he said, what's wrong? What's wrong?
She's outside. She's hurt.
You see him look to his side, and you now notice there are surveillance cameras. One of the surveillance cameras shows you within the store, and two of the surveillance cameras seem to be the front and the back of the gas station. The front shows Pauline there, shivering, or at least pretending to be. And he sees that and rushes out of his stall.
Okay, I make a point to try and be behind him when he leaves the store.
What's going on? Do you guys need me to call the police? And he opens the door, the shed. He stops looking at you for about a second
And as soon as his attention is kind of fully on Pauline, I use that as my moment to strike and try and feed.
Before he even gets to grab the door to open it, you push him against it. And as you bite down, the blood splatters as you are a messy eater. It covers the top half of the glass door of this shed. He tries to struggle, but the draining of the blood is weakening him. How much do you drink?
I think that he intends at first to try and be conservative. And I think that as he begins to drink more, he realizes that he's not able to stop. And I think that he completely drinks his fill.
Your hunger goes to 0. Pauline, you see what unfolded as this man gets pushed into the glass door. The blood splatters across it. And you start to see blood leaking from underneath this glass door.
I'm still hungry. I see the blood on the floor and I just grab at it and I try to get something that will be a little bit more nourishing before I do also try and look around and see if I see anything, anyone coming, any surveillance, anything myself.
You notice the cameras. You notice the camera placements. You're not sure about the back, because that would require you to go around the shed. But the front, easily see it. The door was left open to this area, this bulletproof glass area, where you both see the surveillance. 2 of you take your fill. Easily, you can slake your... But only as Devin takes the life of this man, Devin goes to 0.
I think I try to just give us a safe bet. It could be backed up into the cloud, it could all be fucked, who knows, but I just rip out and break every camera. Anything that looks like it's tech in that back room, I absolutely destroy.
You head to the surveillance and you notice that it's not connected to any cloud or anything. It's just a local surveillance. You can easily get to the computer and delete the files.
And that's exactly what she does. She was kind of hoping that that would be the case given the small mom and pop location.
Easily, you delete it. No check needed. As you're deleting these files, you do notice one thing. A car driving in.
Devin.
Yeah, I got it. Devin very quickly looks around to see if there is like since this is a mechanic shop, he's looking for like a pair of coveralls or something that he can quickly kind of slide into.
Yeah, easily. You have like within the back where everything was, where like the store owners things were, you can easily grab like another like smock of like the gas station just to cover yourself.
He does that, and then he says, just stay here, and I guess...
Tell them there's a gas leak. Tell them anything.
I walk outside, and I just yell, we're closed!
The car sits there with the engine running, the lights blaring at you. You can barely see who's inside. Within a moment, the engine cuts. The lights die out. Devin, as you're yelling, door opens and out comes man.
bare skin, sunken eyes, curly dark brown hair. You see him have like this headband, kind of like head wrap on his forehead, and he is out. As he stands, you see clearly now he is a priest.
Can I help you?
Yes, yes, you can. More so, I think I can help you.
Whatever you're selling, we don't really want to buy anything. We're closed.
I'm not selling anything. He closes the door. He opens the back door, back seat, and he takes out what seems to be sweats and towels.
Pauline is lurking.
Through the blood-soaked glass, you can easily see what's going on. You can even hear, with the quality of the door, it's not really soundproof. You can hear what the man is saying to Devin. This man is just walking up to you and holding out these sweats and a towel, handing it to you, Devin. Please, take it. I brought it for you.
Pauline opens the door. Who are you?
People call me Father Al.
What do you want?
It might sound suspicious, I know, but we had people figure out that the two of you will be here at this time.
What people?
Like us. People just like you and me.
What is it that we have in common?
He starts to smile and you can see his fangs. His eyes, as you're looking him now in the face, are bright gray. And you start to see the side of his face, a Lichtenberg scar. No need to fear. We've had refugees, such as two of you, in the past few weeks. We're here to help. We're not here to harm, not here to exploit, like I've heard you have been.
You can imagine, that being the case, why this seems unconvincing.
I understand.
We've had a really rough night, and I'm not really looking forward to going to a second location with somebody that I just met. I think you're going to need to sell it a little harder. How do we know we can trust you?
May I? And he walks up to you, Devin, with his hands stretched out.
But I kind of stretch out my hands, kind of confused.
He touches your hand, and whatever willpower you lost earlier, you feel invigorated. The superficial wounds that you've sustained through the attack, through wading through a very harsh river in the winter. These small cuts and bruises fade away. Please, I'm only here to help. I'm not here to harm you. I'm not here to continue the suffering that you've been going through for... How long has it been?
I kind of lean up to Devin and pull him back just a little bit, and I whisper in your ear, do you have an idea of where we would go from here?
I mean, I was kind of just making it up as I went along, to be honest.
That's a no.
Please, take the clothes I'm giving you. Dry yourselves off. We don't get cold, I understand, but that doesn't mean that we don't get uncomfortable wearing something wet and sopping. Please, I'll give you a moment.
I take the clothing, and Pauline just starts changing. She has no social awareness that that's anything wrong.
Devin kind of like sheepishly like kind of turns away and like kind of runs behind like one of the actual fueling stations just to get some kind of cover, and changes.
He's just killed a man, but he's camera shy.
Now, much better, right? Ah,
Why do you do it? Why do you help people like us?
because people like you are the future. People like us are the future. I bet you've learned something completely different across the river. We take a different approach here. We're more accepting. We're more forward thinking. But before anything, please let me clean this up for you. This is during you guys getting ready, just changing clothes. He takes the body, he puts it, and you hear a bunch of creaking noises. He walks out, and as he walks past you, he says, "Please, you don't need to keep those clothes. We have more than what you need at the church." He starts walking to the gas dispensers. He starts to open one, starts to spread it around.
That's super unsafe, right? Because like, I'm pretty sure fire is like one of the few things that still we're not great with.
True.
Do you need any help?
I mean, by all means, if you don't mind. Of course.
I don't mind.
More hands means we get through this faster.
She grabs a canister, keeps it at arm's length, but starts to spread around the property as quickly as she can.
I think there's a second that like Devin watches and contemplates and just like, what kind of priest is this? And then he walks up and joins and starts helping.
I understand. Meeting someone like me at a time like this, exactly the right place, is quite suspicious, and I am not going to I'm not going to dispute that. What I am going to say is that we have people like us at the church who can find things, find people, find two of you. And with the church, we are working on to perfect us. Like you said earlier, fire is something that we're not quite good at, but he takes a lighter out, kind of places his hand over the flame, disturbingly long, and he stops. The two of you will be safe with me, with us. Please, all I ask is you come, and if it doesn't feel like your thing, then you can leave the next night. How does that feel?
I lean towards Devin. I say, we have nowhere to go, and we can't be found. I'm not saying we trust him, but we can use him until he hurts us or doesn't.
Right. So we stick with him until things get weird, and then we just make sure that like they get weird on him instead of on us.
That is the idea, yes.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, well, beats wandering around eating raccoons.
Exactly. Well, he opens the back seat. Please.
I slide in.
Closes the door, opens the passenger seat for you, Devin.
And still unsure, he reluctantly climbs in.
As he closes it, he walks around, goes in, starts the drive to what he says is his church is quiet. This car is quite clean. It smells quite new. After about 10 minutes of driving, you get to this abandoned lot. And down from it is this broken down church. Father Al, as he introduced himself, lets himself out. Please follow me. The others are waiting.
How many others?
Well, there's about 20 of us in the church right now.
Doing what?
Just worship, working to make us whole.
This has, like, weird doomsday cult written all over it.
I know.
Please join me. He starts to walk.
Far behind him, I think. The pastor, far behind him.
This priest opens the door, and as broken down as the outside is, it's quite clean inside. There are lights, pretty dim lit, despite all the windows being boarded up. It smells very chemically, quite clean, like a sanitized room. His footsteps echo as this narrow hallway leads you to the main area of the church. The bright lights start to dim as all of it is now candlelight. Candles are quite burned down to the stumps. You see all these sconces have just wax dripping from them, some still dripping on the floor. And you see a group of about 20 people there. You see Father Al being greeted by a horribly disfigured looking individual. He looks like a bat and a wolf merged together. His teeth, his fangs, almost jetting out of his mouth, as his lips are so chapped they look torn behind it. So was it hard to find them? Was she right? Did you find them? Yes. Yes. Find them. We found them. See, this creature-looking thing is looking at you. It's like, good. You're here. Have you fed? Can we get you something? Can we get you blood to feed on?
No.
I'm good. Still trying to, kind of get my bearings and stuff. New place, new faces. Very new faces.
Who are you?
You hear, Father Al, Jeremy. You're a beautiful being, but I don't think our guests are still used to kindred of your kind. Oh, I understand. I am very frightful to look at. I am so sorry. Wait, let me fix that. And he goes and he puts on his mask. This mask is just kind of like a kid's mask. Please, if you need anything, let me know. My name is Jeremy.
You don't have to hide yourself. And she'll start to reach out towards him to try to remove the mask.
As you remove the mask, the glint in his eyes, despite this animalistic visage on this person, you know what this looks like. This is a look of joy, of acceptance, that almost is very rare, even amongst his peers.
I think she takes off the mask and she puts it down, and she kind of goes into gesture for his hand if he'll give it to her.
He holds your hand, and it's so gentle. Despite the veins, the vascular composition of his arms, his hands, the palms of his hands are smooth, soft. He has no claws. His hands are just regular hands.
She thumbs over gently the veins, caresses his hand, and she looks at him and says, "Where did you come from?"
Came from here. Came from Jersey, born and raised. One night I wasn't like this, and the other I was. But Father Al over here took me in.
Is that so? And I kind of look over and glare towards Father Al.
Father Al just gives you a smile. He's not even looking at you, he's looking at the interaction. It's a genuine smile of not enjoyment, but happiness that someone is accepting Jeremy. Like Jeremy said, it's very rare that people who see him for the first time or who ask him to remove his mask. Father Al puts his hand on Jeremy's shoulder. All right, Jeremy, let's give them time to breathe. Devin, with all of this happening, how are you feeling?
Since he walked in, I think that he has been just trying to use a situational awareness and kind of get a lay of the land, figure out doors in case he needs to run out of one very quickly, and kind of take in all of the people who are here, and kind of using his sociology experience and his experience at reading people to kind of figure out kind of a general sense of what the vibe is, and if the group here seems hostile, or if they seem like this is some kind of front or a grift or something, or if they do seem genuine. And then all of that is sidelined by the fact that he sees Jeremy and is trying to figure out if it's more or less scary that this thing's name is Jeremy. And so this is all happening very fast.
Despite it being happening very fast, you still have your fight or flight still intact. Your body's giving you the flight response because of everything initially, until it subsides, where you're kind of getting the sense that whatever this is, you're the guest of honor. You're here to be maybe praised, maybe worshipped, you're not sure. But I don't think they want to harm you initially, unless you do something, probably. You see a nun walk up. Her eyes are cataract over, but she's a young nun. Roughly around maybe late 20s. She walks up to Father Al. I was right. They were there. You got them. Gloria, thank you. You were right, and I have no doubt of your abilities. Pauline, Devin, this is Sister Gloria. She was the one who saw your arrival.
Is that so?
Yes.
What is it that drew you to us?
I'll let Gloria explain. Gloria, she says, I don't find the people. The visions just find me. The visions of fire, blood, and violence. Two of you were on the run. The visions were given to me that you crossed the river. The visions told me that you will be at that gas station at that moment. We could have gotten you much earlier, but the two of you seemed that you needed to feed.
What would you like from us, Gloria?
It's not me to tell.
Who is it to tell?
She looks at Father Al. The two of you are here today because we have, unfortunately, two of our family members here. And he walks over. You start to see that they are in a circle, and in between are two other kindred. Peter and Michael over here have sold us out to the humans. And while we took care of that problem before, they have deemed unimportant, unusable. And you see Peter and Michael are just afraid for this. They have not shown their worth. The two of you have shown fight. Two of you were victims, and we want to give you the ability to fight back and take what was taken. Get revenge.
Sold you out to what humans? There's many humans.
The humans that gave you a trouble tonight. Maybe not the same people, but they do the same thing. They hunt us down. Some for sport, some for vengeance, some out of curiosity. And these two sold us out for pleasures of flesh.
Is that true? She looks over at the two of them.
And their mouths are gagged. But as they were hearing this accusation, they look ashamed, as if, yes, this is true. They can't deny it. Devin, you're looking around and you're starting to see a lot more detail of the people around. You've met 3, and the 17 more that are around there are from different walks of life. They don't seem to look like they're in a cult. They don't wear the same things. They look like regular people. Apart from Jeremy, of course. You see Father Al. You see, we believe in unity, in strength of the bond, of the blood. We are offering the place of these two to you. And all we ask is your loyalty. And what you get in return is power and our loyalty. Well,
Loyalty to what? What do you do? What makes you powerful?
makes us powerful. We derive our power not only by the blood, but also by the gods that are behind us. You see now that the cross is inverted. You see that there are sigils in there that seem like in a fever dream would look like satanic in nature. Please let me lead you to freedom. We will take back New York, and we will make sure that the person who did this to you suffered, and we will reign power over.
I mean, I'm sold. How do you feel about this, Pauline?
Pauline, you see Jeremy approach you. Please. We need someone as gentle and kind as you.
What is your role here, Jeremy?
I hide in the shadows and make sure that I can see what dangers come before us. Anything that Gloria doesn't see, I see.
How long have you been here?
About 7 years. And Father Al has only been kind to me.
Pauline kind of sits back, kind of just within herself, and what's going through her mind is some part of this is garbage. Maybe it's all of it. Maybe it's half. But at least some of these people seem genuine in their own beliefs and what they're doing. And so looks at Father Owl. What would you have us do?
That's simple. Feed. And he points over to Peter and Michael. Drain it. Drain them as they drained the predecessors before them.
That's a lot to take on.
But it will give you power. My child, you will not have to stab, rip, or wound just to feed anymore. You'll be whole.
I'd be more than whole. I'd be overstuffed. I already have a line of ghosts looking at me. I don't really have room for another.
Oh. Devin, take your pick. Pauline, fortunate. The only thing that we can do if you refuse is make sure you don't tell anyone about us.
Ooh, real shame. That'd be a real shame.
I figured.
And you start to see Jeremy tear up, welling at the tear ducts or droplets of blood.
I'm looking at him.
And you see that Jeremy seems that he will be the one who would have to take care of you if you refuse.
Jeremy?
Yes?
Which one? Which one should I? You choose.
He kneels down and holds your hand. Join us. I'll protect you. I'll protect all of you. And he looks to everybody in the room. You see, as Father Al takes the headband off, a scar running on his forehead. Pauline, we don't want you to leave. We don't want to have to hurt you. We want you to be. Because the two of you seem capable of being a part of this family. And as he smiles at you, you see that the slit opens as a third eye looks at you.
I look away from Al and I look back at Jeremy and I whisper, which one of them do I take?
You see his expression change. The sinister face. He looks over. Peter.
That is whose soul you would have me bear.
He nods.
Okay.
And Jeremy stands as you say okay. He takes your hand and says, "Let me help you." And you see Peter squirming, writhing. Jeremy, with his strong hands, be it soft, grips the top of his head, rips it to the side, and bites. You see the blood gushing, ready for you. Devin, Michael is being prepared. You see a young man, very clean, very reminiscent of your time as someone in Wall Street. He walks up, takes Michael's head, and takes a dagger. Would you like some assistance as well?
No, I think I got it. And I think that Devin, kind of going through his brain, thinking through what Gloria said, and he is very easily flattered and full of self-importance, and starts to see this as his way up, and as being at the bottom of this hierarchy, and looking for a way back to the top, back to what he believes to be his rightful place. He begins to see a plan unfold in his head, and he begins to see this as the first step. And he, messy eater as always, but also unlike with the gas station attendant where he tried at first to show restraint, there's a complete disregard here as he feeds.
As the two of you feed, as the souls and the life, the unlife, drain from the eyes of these two individuals in front of you, the blood sates you in a different way. It hits completely different from animal or human. It's sweeter. It's warmer. It's hotter. And this fire in your belly gives you vigor, gives you strength. And as the two fall to dust, the two of you feel power. In front of you, the priest holds out his arms, and Sister Gloria slits his wrists. He lets blood run down to his fingertips, and he caresses the top of your forehead, runs it down to your eyes, to your nose, to your lips, and to your chin. Welcome, children. Welcome to the Church of Baal. This will be a new chapter, the rest of your unlife.
You have a way of making me sweat when you walk in the room. My heart skips a beat